Hello everyone, it's me Prashant, working as an assistant professor in VSB Engineering College, KARUR. So, in this semester, we are going to study about fundamentals of economics with a code of 23 CST 306 for computer science and business systems students. So, for this semester, we are studying about that fundamentals of economics, why it is there in the first year itself. First, you should analyze about that because the economical strategy, the day by day economical growth and everything is being only by the part of economical way alone. Okay, to think about your family itself, the economy has begun, right? So as in a part of individual, family, by the part of public and industries, and then people growth, everything is depends upon only by the part of economical way alone. So that is why the part of economical strategies has been incorporated in your curriculum for the first year, second semester itself. So the main course objective about that subject is to be that we are going to learn about that demand curves of households and supply curves of firms with the principle and differentiate the price ceilings, price flows, compare income effects and then substitute effects. Okay, so here we are going to deal about that subsidy calculations too. Keynesian's process and multiplier theory in macroeconomics as well as microeconomics. These are your course objective of your fundamentals of economics. The unit one is to be that introduction to microeconomics. Introduction to microeconomics. The first title is to be that introduction to economics with the continuation of themes of economics. Micro versus macroeconomics, demand curves and supply curves, elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply, demand curves of households and firms. This is what about your first unit, guys. Okay. So for that, we are going to entirely study about all the 5 units in a textbook of Paul Anthony Samuels and William D. Northard's Economics 19th edition Macro Hill Education 2010, which is available in our library itself. So now we are going to deal about that. What is economics? So the economics is the study of how people use limited resources to satisfy unlimited wants. Almost, you just think about that. Our people, not an people, our human mind setup is to be that you are in the age of now studying factor alone, right? So you just think about your parents, they all satisfy your day-to-day routine as well as they are going to ready up for your own future enhancements too. So this is what about your parents mind setup. So how people are earning the money is the first thing. How they are going to spend the money in a useful way. Okay, so in your parents calculative, you are going to study and then you are going to enrich yourself as well as you are going to enhance your skill with the part of the society natures too. How the industries are being like that now, how goods and services are produced and distributed, how they are consumed for the society nature. Okay, so that is what about your economics, guys. Okay, so for that, why we are going to study about that economics, which means here daily day-to-day life decisions are made only by the part of understanding the economical strategies alone. The prices are fixed by the consumers. That is what about the economics are helping. Learn how the business are going to operate in the factor of how the governments as well as manages the economy, because the government is having lot and lot of incoming funds as well as they are going to spend that fund for the useful way, right? So how they are going to manage the fund in a useful way to the public, how they are financially economic with the part of decision making. So these are all the things available in the part of that study of economics, guys. Okay, so that is the major part of studying the economics. So there are the three basic questions in front of our mind: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. These are all the three basic questions which is available in that economical problem. Okay, so here which one is important? Rice or wheat or else mobile phones or else laptops or else machine. Suppose in our mindset, without rice we can't able to living our life. Without food we can't able to, as a human we can't, because we are not an AI machine at all, right? So as a human, we need some amount of food for consuming our day-to-day life, right? So that is what about the which one is important, how they are going to produce, how they are going to spend it. Okay. So it is an inculcation process, how to produce using machines or else manual labor. Definitely the rice is being only by the part of that is a different kind of labors is there in back of us, right? So that is the major thing. Using renewable energy or else fossil fuel according to the nature. That is the next thing for whom to produce, rich people or poor people. Definitely the rices could be helpful for both rich as well as poor peoples too. Okay, so that will be the urban populations as well as rural populations. Our surviving factor has to be reached to the part of almost all sectors. Okay, so the rises to be that for urban people as well as rural populations area, urban populations area, whatever it is, wherever it is, that could be applicable for all kind of nature. Okay, so that is the major things, guys. Okay, so the next one is to be that scarcity. So the scarcity, which means the name itself, you can, right? The scarcity, it is a central problem, right? To take example, one student in your class itself, 500 in his hand. He wants books as well as he want to see any recent movies. He needs some snacks as well as mobile recharge. In front of that 500 in his hands, he can able to satisfy all over the thing, right? But definitely it is not possible, right? So he can't able to buy everything. So he can't able to spend much over time with that these factors. Okay, any one thing is possible. So this much of unpredictable situations is named as your scarcity. I hope you are understand better way about scarcity problems, guys. Okay, how he is dealing. The basic economic problem seems to be that humans is under the part of wants as well as needs. Human wants is named as unlimited factor, resources which name it as limited, right? So our mind setup almost in the part of unlimited way of thinking, but in our hand we are having limited resources. To take example, we are having only 100 rupees in your hand. We are aiming for snacks as well as movie ticket. You can't able to buy both fathers within this 100 rupees. It is not possible. Only one thing is possible, right? So that thing is to be that in a fruitful way means that could be quite helpful. This is what about your economical problems, guys.